As you cross the footbridge into the botanical gardens, you enter a place of breathtaking floral beauty. Suddenly, you find yourself in a world of moss-draped trees, manicured walkways, and a stunning showcase of color, texture, and design. From one vista alone, you can see a display of over 40,000 red and yellow annuals winding along the rolling hills, stretching up to the garden's white gazebo. It stands proudly between two bubbling fountains and brilliant beds of flowers. The gazebo was built as a stately monument to symmetry and balance, and has since been a popular site for weddings. Crowning the beauty of this luscious scene is the commemorative Catalina Fountain. It was installed on the 60th anniversary of the garden's founding. It is a tribute to all who have contributed to the garden's success through the years.
It's just a restful, stress-relieving experience to walk through the gardens and see everything.
And I just love the botanical gardens. And I think this, no matter where you stand in this place, the serenity is absolutely wonderful.
Stress relief without a pill.
The horticulture staff that grows the plants on display at Cypress Gardens pays careful attention to color selection, design, and other landscaping factors to create these stunning surroundings. Cypress Gardens' philosophy is simple. Make each vista a photograph, and in this, the staff of gardeners has succeeded beyond measure. The goal is to make these legendary gardens the most beautiful gardens that anyone has ever seen, and everyone works hard at keeping the park perfectly manicured. But the key to perfection is that each gardener working here considers it his garden. Behind the scenes, there's always much to do. In fact, it takes a team of 50 full-time landscaping specialists to maintain the botanical gardens' picture-perfect beauty year-round. Florida's subtropical climate provides near-perfect growing conditions and is a challenge for staff to keep up with plant growth during the summer. The park has an intense maintenance program, but the results are worth the extra attention given the plants. So whether gardeners are planting, pruning, mowing, weeding, or any of several other responsibilities, the stress is on quality and beauty. This sort of precision care and maintenance have produced some of the most amazing botanical achievements in the world. The garden's banyan tree, for example, is incredible to behold. A native of India, this remarkable specimen stands a massive 265 feet in diameter. Brought to the gardens in a coffee can and planted in 1936, it was awarded the National Arborist Association Tree of the Year Award 36 years later. The huge banyan tree is a living monument to the skill of Cypress Gardens' horticultural staff.
The first new addition to the original gardens in many years is the biblical garden. Portraying flowers and plants found in the Bible, this peaceful area offers a soothing respite from the troubles of the world. Featured plants include barley, dill, date palms, olives, pomegranates, wormwood, and roses. The garden is complemented with Mediterranean accents to enhance the biblical theme.
The main trail through the botanical gardens leads to a large golden Buddha sitting serenely in meditation among juniper beds and cascading fountains. In these oriental gardens, there are half a dozen varieties of bamboo and a tall stand of feathery papyrus native to Africa.
Equally impressive is the Rose Garden, where statues of St. Francis and St. Fiacre, the patron saints of birds and gardens, keep a silent, timeless vigil from opposite sides of a picturesque courtyard. The Rose Garden's intoxicating fragrance and rich color bring smile after smile to guests, who always delight in the quality of these fine specimens.
The reason I love Cypress Garden is the gorgeous flowers. It's just beautiful any time of the year.
I want the flowers. I want my yard to look exactly like that.
It's a really great place. It's got beautiful flowers and gardens. It's got a lot of great things to do, and it's fun for the whole family.
Southern bells are the garden's symbol of classic Southern hospitality. These beautiful young women show off the best of this Southern tradition, like the thousands who have belled before them.
The idea of the bells originally came out of necessity in 1940 when a hard freeze hit the gardens, damaging the flowering vines at the entrance. To keep guests from turning away, some young women were dressed in antebellum skirts large enough to cover the frost-burned plants. Visitors were so enchanted with the warmth and friendly charm of the Southern welcome that the bells became a permanent addition to Cypress Gardens.
A new special Cypress Gardens memory has been created. It's an opportunity for young girls to dress up just like the Southern Belles. In the Junior Belle Boutique, these young ladies have their hair plaited with colorful ribbons. Then, makeup is applied, making the Junior Belle as charming as her role models. The Junior Belle gets to live this fairy tale adventure for the next 2 hours as she roams the park with her family, taking pictures so this fantasy can be relived over and over. The program's wardrobe of Scarlett O'Hara style chiffon, silk, and organza antebellum gowns, fashioned with plenty of ruffles and lace, has grown to over 400 in a rainbow of colors. The program's not just reserved for little girls 3 and over. The fantasy can be further enhanced when mom decides to join her daughter in this delightful adventure. This program has been so successful that on a busy day, the park will provide this treat to more than 70 young ladies.
The Gardens hosts 4 different flower festivals, and the first of these, the Victorian Garden Party, is on display year-round. It is the largest artistic topiary festival of its kind in the world.
More than 80 life-size figures created from ivy, fig vine, and creeping vine turn the Lakeside Trail in the original gardens into a salute to the Victorian era, when the first tropical plants were brought to the New World.
The Gardens takes on a whole new look 3 times a year as the park presents its other flower festivals.
Each year, from mid-March until mid-May, Cypress Gardens explodes with the colors of spring as the annual Spring Flower Festival is presented. During this annual festival, guests strolling through the gardens encounter a variety of spectacular displays, such as giant butterflies, a pair of 14-foot swans, or even an 18-foot-tall Easter bunny. Over 20 giant blooming topiaries set amid more than 150,000 colorful spring annuals drape the scene as the gardens welcomes the advent of spring.
Complementing the Spring Flower Festival is Spring Lights. From the 1st of February until early April, the park celebrates the arrival of spring with an evening light pageant. More than 100 animated light pieces, from bunnies and butterflies to rainbows and honey bears, glow alongside twinkle-lighted live oaks, hedges, stream beds, and the park's signature waterfall. The centerpiece of Spring Lights is the magnificent Tree of Light. This salute to spring stands over 100 feet tall. It is covered with a huge variety of lighted pastel ornaments. More than 22,000 twinkling bulbs lead the guests' eyes to the beautiful 3-dimensional floral bouquet crown being enjoyed by a giant bumblebee.
There's so many good things to like. Topiaries, I think, are beautiful.
And the lights, of course the lights. Love the lights.
I like coming to Cypress Gardens because the seasons change so often and the flowers are always so beautiful. And
Held in mid-November, the Mum Festival is a Cypress Gardens highlight that attracts visitors from all over the world.
Preparations begin 9 months in advance with 3-inch cuttings taken from stock plants. The floral designers then develop these cuttings by means of pruning and pinching techniques until they graduate into larger pots and finally to huge cascades.
The result of all this intense effort is a beautiful display of 5-foot columns of glorious color, poodle baskets shimmering in hues of yellow and purple, and towering displays of unbelievable beauty. The park is alive in a sea of undulating blooms of mums, set to create a floral rainbow of more than 3 million blossoms. Also debuting each November is the Wildlife Sculpture Garden.
These creatures, crafted from bronze, wrought iron, concrete, and wood, represent the threatened and endangered species of the world. They appear to be very naturally at home in the beautiful setting of the original gardens.
At the annual Poinsettia Festival, which takes place during the Christmas holidays, seasonal music plays a joyous background harmony to the sound of rushing waterfalls. More than 30,000 blooms on 6,000 specimens make this the world's largest indoor floral display of its kind.
As guests enter, they are surrounded by a canopy of lights in a holiday gazebo overlooking a sparkling lake reflecting a 20-foot-high poinsettia tree.
Further down the path, guests enter a white-capped poinsettia mountain range. Passing through a valley, they come upon a miniature European village nestled among the Poinsettia Alps, with G-scale trains running through the mountains.
The show is enhanced with this 15-foot-tall Swiss Mountain Holiday Garden Railway music box. This built-to-scale replica portrays a Swiss mountain village which features a castle, 9 buildings, and a village train station. A railroad climbs the mountain, passing over a stone bridge that crosses a waterfall and stream.
This unique festival would make even Ebenezer Scrooge smile with delight. A special holiday treat is in store for guests who attend the Garden of Lights. Over 4 million lights create a holiday glow, with a myriad of dazzling lights leading guests through a maze of illuminated gardens, giant twinkling topiaries, and 225 animated holiday scenes. Visitors enjoy a variety of special holiday touches.
Topping off the adventure is the world's tallest Christmas tree. The tree rises a stunning 110 feet in the air. It's draped with 20 miles of light wire, set in a bed of hibiscus, and topped with a giant star. It is covered with garland and is adorned with over 25,000 lights. The magic of the season is captured in these grand presentations.
This is truly a holiday spectacular.
Well, I like the laser show at night the best.
I'm gonna ask my parents if we can go back in the island in the sky to see all the lights from high up.
You can see the whole area everywhere around.
This is Southern Crossroads, a village of quaint shops, eateries, and lively entertainment set in the architectural style of the Old South. Despite the old-time style, guests can shop in air-conditioned comfort in the many shops throughout the area. A variety of restaurants offer great food and provide the perfect place to relax and enjoy a meal or snack.
Here at the Crossroads Arena, guests can enjoy the world-class entertainment of the Variété Internationale show. In the tradition of high-class European circus performances, where audiences wear gowns and tuxedos, the new cast of globally acclaimed artists is the best of the best. Variété Internationale presents these fine acts from around the world, including the great father-daughter acrobats Misha and Christina, and the troupe Lavushkin, some of Russia's premier acrobatic performers.
After the show, you can stroll over to Carousel Cove. When you walk through this gateway, you enter an amusement area designed expressly for the little ones, including a special antique replica carousel. Young guests enjoy exciting kiddie rides such as the Parachute, the Red Baron, and the Delta Kite.
The whole family will enjoy winning prizes at the boardwalk or playing miniature golf.
All aboard!
It's time to take the train. An unusual train it is at Cypress Junction, home of one of the most elaborate model railroad exhibits in the world. Maintained by the all-volunteer Cypress Gardens Model Railroad Association, Cypress Junction painstakingly recreates 7 different regions of the United States using thousands of replicas of people, buildings, trees, and other details to achieve impressive, humorous, and sometimes startling effects. More than 1.5 tons of plaster were used to build the miniature rocks, mountains, waterfalls, lakes, and rivers. There are nearly 400 buildings, 4,800 human and animal figures, and 4,500 trees. 12 miles of electrical wire carry current throughout the display, and 1,300 miniature bulbs light it. On your tour of Southern Crossroads, you won't want to miss Cypress Roots, a pictorial retrospective of the origins of Cypress Gardens. This interesting exhibit includes a rare display of cameras from the 20s to the 70s, antique magazine covers and advertisements, an original Southern Belle dress and hoop, water skis used in very early Cypress Garden shows, souvenir brochures from the 40s and 50s, photos of celebrities who have visited the park, and other memorabilia. Nestled amid waterfalls and streams is the historic Florida Garden Railway. This new landscape embellishment reflects a growing backyard American hobby. This 5,000 square foot exhibit, the largest permanent historical garden railway anywhere, showcases 3 G-scale trains, including a turn-of-the-century trolley. Buildings constructed of such natural materials as pine cones, live oak, acorns, and elm bark were chosen for their role in the history of the Sunshine State. 11 bridges traverse the artistically landscaped three-dimensional terrain. It's time for a walk down memory lane at when radios were radios. This outstanding collection of over 300 vintage radios, about 100 of which are on display at a time, lets visitors tune in to the heyday of pictureless broadcasting. The exhibit includes models from the turn of the century to the deco classics of the 50s, old RCA Victor advertisements on the walls, antique microphones, and Victrolas show what made this time in American broadcast history one of our most nostalgic. Donated to Cypress Gardens by Weber College in Babson Park, Florida, this collection is a rare experience in Americana. Also found in Southern Crossroads is the Palace Theater, home to the spectacular show Hot Nouveau Ice.
This international salute stars 10 European artists, including several former national, European, and world champions. The show spotlights many nations, and the music, sets, and costumes reflect the traditional icons, folklore, and cultures associated with these countries. Duets range from a high-energy Russian act, complete with acrobatic lifts, to a romantic ice dancing number set in India.
Performers dance a classic Scottish jig, accompanied by bagpipes.
Graceful skaters perform fluid ballet and a continental tribute to Argentina's Evita. Demonstrating additional talents, a skater treats the audience to power juggling on ice, balancing unwieldy giant steel cubes and pyramids, and the tradition of European circus acts. The whole extravaganza is a brilliant combination of lights, colors, and sounds that totally engulfs the audience in its American finale. The beautiful centerpiece for Southern Crossroads is the charming Magnolia Mansion.
Built by a prominent Citrus family in 1940, the mansion was originally red brick and featured balconies and grillwork made of wrought iron, much like a New Orleans-style home. When the Gardens bought the mansion, it was decided to redesign it to reflect the more popular look of the graceful centerpiece of the movie Gone with the Wind. The mansion's patio offers guests a spot to sit, relax, and enjoy a panoramic view of beautiful Lake Eloise.
Just adjacent to the Magnolia Mansion is the beautiful Plantation Gardens. Here, guests find a 40,000 square foot enclave containing 4 distinct and very special botanical areas.
Located there is a second rose garden featuring numerous antique hybrids of this romantic flower. As a matter of fact, many of the varieties seen in this garden were first bred over 100 years ago.
Next door is a vegetable garden filled to the brim with fresh crops of cabbage, peppers, tomatoes, radishes, and other vegetables representing America's heartland. Just a few steps away, guests can stroll through an authentic herb and scent garden. Here the air is filled with the aroma of mint, garlic, oregano, and lemongrass. Informational signs not only encourage visitors to touch and smell the many varieties showcased here, but also offer suggestions on preparing and cooking these natural delights. And finally, there is the butterfly garden. These picturesque flower beds, shaped like a giant butterfly's wing, boast attractive blooming plants and flowers such as pentas, pineapple sage, and Mexican flame vines.
Complementing the butterfly garden is one of the most remarkable exhibits in all of Cypress Gardens, Wings of Wonder. This enchanting Victorian-style glass conservatory houses over 50 species of butterflies from around the world. Upon entering Wings of Wonder, park guests find themselves surrounded by more than 1,000 free-flying butterflies, all living within an ideal environment where the temperature is always 80 degrees Fahrenheit with 70% humidity. Here, some of nature's most magnificent specimens playfully fly among lush tropical plants and a crystal clear waterfall. With each step along the winding pathway, guests are treated to an experience that is not only beautiful, but educational as well. For example, there are approximately 28,000 different known species of butterflies. Their diet is entirely made up of liquids, such as nectar or amino acids. These liquids are extracted from pollen, fruit, and other food sources, which are all plentiful in this natural habitat. Within Wings of Wonder, guests can view several informative displays and 2 chrysalis hatching stations. Visitors have the unique opportunity to actually watch the butterflies emerge from their chrysalis.
Wings of Wonder, a truly uplifting experience you'll never forget.
It's only found at Cypress Gardens.
Cypress Gardens also offers a variety of animals, both on display and in a very entertaining show.
At Nature's Arena, the Raptors and Reptiles Show presents such rehabilitated raptors as Harris hawks, red-tailed hawks, barred owls, Florida screech owls, and peregrine falcons. The informal interactive show teaches about predation, behavior traits, cohabitation, and preservation of these carnivores. It also showcases snakes, alligators, turtles, and crocodiles in an up-close yet non-threatening setting. Noted international crocodilian conservationist and educator Bruce Schwedick, audiences learn about each specimen's natural history, anatomy, behaviors, environmental impact, and species preservation. The star of the show, however, is Banana Boy, a 15-foot-long albino python. Throughout Nature's Way are unique guest-friendly displays of a variety of animals and reptiles. Exhibits run the gamut, from the strange-looking gharial crocodile to the cute-looking ducks. In a departure from tradition, most Nature's Way exhibits showcase more than one species, demonstrating firsthand the spirit of coexistence occurring naturally in the wild.
Around the corner at Nature's Boardwalk, more mixed species guests. The capybaras are giant South American rodents, and they share their habitat with the Patagonian cavies, who look like huge rabbits. Everyone enjoys the friendly lorikeets found in the Birdwalk Aviary.
Here, guests can feed and enjoy these beautiful creatures as they actually land on you to drink nectar.
I really like the birds, they're so friendly. They like to come to you for the food, so it's great.
This is our first trip to Cypress Gardens, and it's really a wonderful place.
Oh, it's great. The daughter loves the birds. We would highly recommend Cypress Gardens to all of our friends.
Throughout the year, Cypress Gardens hosts a variety of special events for their guests to enjoy. The sound of big bands and other kinds of entertainers can be heard and seen at the pavilion throughout the spring. Everyone enjoys Oktoberfest, when Bavarian entertainers demonstrate their skills on such unusual musical instruments as the bells, the glockenspiel, the alpine horns, and a singing saw.
These talented performers also conduct yodeling and shoe-slapping contests. One example of the wide variety of special events the Gardens hosts is Sing a New Song, a gospel sing. Traditionally, a number of top national stars are brought in to perform, along with the best of groups from around the state of Florida. Throughout the year, over 75,000 annual pass holders return to the gardens many times to enjoy these special events.
Perhaps the most spectacular view of Cypress Gardens is found at the 153-foot summit of the Island in the Sky.
It is magnificent.
The revolving observation platform provides a dynamic 360-degree panorama of the gardens below and the central Florida skyline.
For a closer look, guests can catch a pontoon boat ride along the shoreline of Lake Eloise, the largest in the Winter Haven chain of lakes. The tour gives an informative look at the wildlife surrounding the gardens.
Dozens of bird and fish species live here, along with more than 100 alligators, some up to 12 feet long.
Those who like the Lake Eloise tour also enjoy the relaxing scenic boat ride through the extensive canals of the botanical forest. Along the way are trees and plants which surround you, many within arm's reach. It seems that everywhere you turn, there's a picture begging to be taken. No matter how you look at it, Cypress Gardens is truly a photographer's wonderland.
Water skiing emerged as a new sport during the early 1920s in Minnesota, but the first performance took place right here at Cypress Gardens. One day in 1943, while founder Dick Pope was in the service, a photograph of a water skier appeared in an area newspaper. The next day, several soldiers from a nearby military base showed up and wanted to know what time the water ski show started. The quick-witted Julie Pope rounded up her children and some of their neighborhood friends who put on an aquatic show. The servicemen returned the next day wanting to see more, and professional water skiing was born.
Since then, the Cypress Gardens ski team has staged more than 70,000 shows at the gardens and around the world. The world's longest continuous running entertainment show has skied in excess of 1 million miles.
Cypress Gardens has more than earned the title Water Ski Capital of the World by hosting the greatest American ski team for over half a century. The team boasts several champions and to date has captured over 50 world records.
These great athletes come to the mecca of water skiing from all over the nation. They represent the best of the best in this strenuous sport. The Aquamaids on the swivel skis show the beauty and grace of ballet on water. Used by show skiers worldwide, the swivel ski was invented at Cypress Gardens.
The show features the best jumpers on earth when the raft masters hit the water. The precision required for this stunt calls for perfect timing. If a skier over-rotates or under-rotates, a very painful spill results.
Corky and Corquette provide a hilarious comedy break, and as much fun as it appears to be, they bring great talent in executing their acts.
The show offers a unique atmosphere for the skiers, and many have been at the gardens for years.
A recent analysis of a ballet line showed the three had a total of over 50 years' experience.
Watching the Delta Wing kite climb high into the sky, one can imagine the incredible thrill of floating among the clouds. These skilled pilots must constantly be aware of the many variables that can affect their flight, but they also have the opportunity to enjoy the ride of a lifetime.
I'm soaring like an eagle sailing in the sky. Touch the clouds above, the universe is passing by. Freedom, the song that I sing. Freedom, the wind in my wings. Soaring, I live for the freedom to fly.
The climax of the show comes when the ramp masters and aquamaids pool their talents and skill to create a 4-tier human pyramid. The first 2-tier pyramid was done at Cypress Gardens in 1948. Nowhere is the collaboration of this beautiful and demanding sport more evident as team members support each other and build, right before the audience's eyes, a 12-person configuration of raw muscle and trust, bringing a well-deserved burst of applause and admiration from the crowd. Cypress Gardens has entertained millions of delighted guests through the years. Natural beauty, spectacular shows, and Southern hospitality has made it the must-see tropical showplace of the world. And these wonderful years of providing first-class entertainment and joy has aged the beautiful park to perfection. The gardens will always work towards improving those traditions which please our guests, while developing exciting new traditions for future visitors to enjoy.
Who would have imagined that more than 60 years ago, 16 acres of botanical gardens would grow into what it is today? With its roots deep in the past, Cypress Gardens continues to offer a Florida you will always remember. A place of wonder and joy, excitement and fun, and of course, breathtaking beauty. They will always be here for you at Cypress Gardens.
Cypress Gardens, the world's tropical showplace.
Island in the sky at Cypress Gardens. What a lovely sky-high view. A world of butterflies at Cypress Gardens. Colors of enchanting hues. Southern bells and waterfalls. And skiers making magic. The colors of the rainbow, flowers everywhere. Birds will sing to you at Cypress Gardens. Animal friends you'll see. Kids have a place at Cypress Gardens.